What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Millennial Mentality Podcast. It's your boy Pete, here with another Friday Freestyle. Today, I wanted to talk about the law of attraction. And for anyone that knows me, you know this is a huge aspect of my life. It's been a big part of my life since I was young. And I kind of just want to preface this whole conversation with, I'm really not trying to preach right now. It may come off really preachy just based on like the subject matter, but I don't want anyone to get it twisted. I'm not trying to convert you to my ways. It's really more so, this has been a huge part of my life, and it's something that I apply to my life every single day. And I've seen the incredible results that I get when I really am on the ball and applying this. And I just want to share that, you know? I'm really not here to sell you on anything. And yeah, if you disagree, that's okay. But if this can add any value to anyone's life, that's really all I'm here for. So anyway, the law of attraction, I feel like it's a pretty common term that we hear these days, at least more so than it has been most of my life. So for me, the law of attraction, and I'm not claiming to be a law of attraction expert by any means, but it's probably been something that I've been using regularly for like the last 10 years. And in a nutshell, I could probably make an hour-long episode about the law of attraction and just go on and on about it, but I'll try and keep it brief and not ramble too much. In a nutshell, I would say the law of attraction is your thoughts become things. And almost put in a simpler form, like karma also, like the energy that you put out into the world is what you get back, but taken to a deeper level. To the point where you can really control your life. And I guess just chiming again on your thoughts become things, and if you can really get control over your mind and the thoughts that you're entertaining every day, you can really have a lot of control over the outcome of your life as well. I mean, damn, that's such a simple way for me to put it. And I could elaborate more, but I don't want to make this too complex. So just to give you a brief background on like how I even learned about the law of attraction or how it came into my life, I can remember being like, 10 or 12 years old, going to a baseball tournament with my dad. And he was playing the audiobook of this book called The Secret, which is a great book and also a great documentary on Netflix. So I want to say that as well. If you have any interest in what I'm saying right now and you want to get a better understanding of the law of attraction, I highly recommend going and watching the documentary on Netflix, The Secret. It's like 45 minutes, and it gives a great breakdown in depth of everything I'm saying and how to apply it in your own life. And that was really like the groundbreaking moment for me. I remember hearing this audiobook when I was like 10 years old in my dad's car, but like nothing that they were saying resonated with a 10-year-old, But then fast forward high school, I'm scrolling through Netflix and I see The Secret. I was like, oh shit, that seems familiar. Like I remember seeing that before. And that's what triggered me to watch it, because I remember like seeing the cover of the audiobook in my dad's car or whatever it was. And at that point in high school, it resonated with me. I was old enough that it made sense, and it was something that I started applying. And by applying, I mean trying to condition my mind to think more positive rather than, leading to the negative, which a lot of people have a natural tendency to do. It's really easy to dwell on the negative. It's just naturally what our brains want to go towards. But I'm pretty confident you can condition your brain to not operate that way, and if with effort, you can really start to identify the positive in really any shitty situation. Which, I mean, it might sound pretty far-fetched, but even just to give you an example, me and JoJo's dog, Bruce, he's recovering from surgery right now. He was super sick maybe 2 days ago. We had to take him to the emergency vet. He got surgery. It turned out he had 30 kidney stones in his bladder that were keeping him from being able to go to the bathroom. And he wasn't doing too hot. And Bruce is our best friend. He's a 4-year-old Dalmatian. We love him to death. And that was like a really scary event for us, because until we knew what was wrong, we didn't know what was wrong. And, the vets were telling us he has to go into emergency surgery. That surgery ended up costing $5,000, which, obviously is no small chunk of change. And, that is a shitty situation. And it's really easy for us to go down a negative thought process dealing with all of that, like it's almost hard to imagine what is a positive aspect in that whole situation. But I'm so grateful for JoJo and, the conversation that we had immediately after picking up Bruce from the hospital was, I'm so grateful that we've been smart financially for the last 6 months and we had the money available to pay for this surgery and get Bruce taken care of the way we needed to. Because, 6 months prior to this, we weren't making the best financial decisions and we didn't have $5,000 to spare to just, pay for Bruce's surgery and make sure he got taken care of. So, I really respect JoJo for, her brain going in that direction and, being able to identify, I'm glad that we've been making the right choices and grinding towards the right things. And that's why we were able to pay to take care of Bruce. Rather than just like, oh my God, why'd this happen? I can't believe we just lost $5,000. Fuck, why'd this have to happen to Bruce? Why? Like, there's none of those thoughts add any value, Obviously, they're thoughts that cross our mind. You can't help from having negative thoughts. And that's another thing. I don't want to scare anyone in saying your thoughts become things and then think that, every bad thought you have is going to manifest itself in your life. You can't help from having the bad thoughts. It's going to happen. But being able to condition yourself not to entertain those thoughts, I think is important because you realize it's not doing you any good, So that being said, conditioning your brain to kind of see the positive in each situation, no matter how shitty it is, and if it's a really shitty situation that you just are struggling to identify something positive in, then just try to move on from it, and stop entertaining something that's taking up space in your brain and not adding value to your life. Another practice that I use on a daily basis to manifest the life that I want, and I say manifest all the time, and it's a word that I take very seriously, but I use it scarcely when talking to other people about the law of attraction, just because I feel like it gets a little bit of a bad stigma. In the sense where it just seems like magic, I manifested this thing. But that's really not how I see it at all. I manifest things on a daily basis using gratitude lists. So I have a notebook that I write in every single day, and I'm basically writing a list of everything I'm grateful for that I already have in my life, but also 70% of that list are things that I don't have that I'm trying to actively manifest, but I'm writing them in my notebook as if I already have them. To give you an example, every sentence starts out with, I'm so happy and grateful for, and then I fill in the blanks of whatever it is I want in my life. Or if there's something I already have in my life that's going great, I'm grateful for that as well. I write it down to keep that going. But I also write a ton of things that I don't have. I don't make $1,000 a day every day right now, but that's something I write in my notebook. I'm so happy and grateful to make $1,000 a day. I'm so happy and grateful that I gain new clients and book new appointments every day. Does that actually happen every day at this moment? No, but I write it in my notebook as if it does. I believe it as I'm writing it in my body as if it does. I think that's another huge part too. It's not like I'm just writing this list down, closing the book and forgetting about it. As you write these things down, you really have to feel in your core that you believe it, So, make your goals realistic. I almost recant that statement. I don't want to say be realistic, because there's been times where I'm writing a goal down thinking that, in a year I'll be able to cross this off the list, and then I'm consistent with it, and in 3 months it manifests, So, I say be realistic, but also reach far, You're capable of a lot more than you give yourself credit for most of the time. So I don't want to be writing in my notebook, I'm so happy and grateful I make $1 million a day, because that's a little far-fetched. But, when I first started tattooing, I was writing, I'm so happy and grateful I make $300 a day, thinking I'll be stoked if in a year I'm making $300 every day. In less than 3 months, that number doubled, So don't put too many limitations on yourself at the same time, but also, know what is realistic in the world that you're trying to live in, and know that you can achieve it if you're just committed. So those two things, conditioning your mind to, try and see the positive in every situation, writing a gratitude list every single day of the things you're grateful for in your life and the things that you want to manifest in your life, but writing them as if you already have them. And that's pretty important. If you write the things that you want in your life, but you're putting it in your notebook as I really want to have a Tesla, you're not manifesting having a Tesla. You're saying you want to have one, and you'll always want to have one, if that's the case. I hope that made sense the way I just said that. But you need to put it in present tense, as if you already have the things you want. And so those are like the two big practices that I do internally. Pretty much on a daily basis. And now after like 10 years of applying this, and I don't want to say I've literally written in a notebook every day for the last 10 years, because everyone, I have my off days, I go through slumps, I know how powerful it would be had I done this every day. I have it tattooed on my hand now, write, which I just tattooed on myself a few weeks ago, as a reminder to write every single day, because there's really no excuse not to. It takes 10, 15 minutes, and it's changed my life in such an amazing way. And even, like if the things don't manifest instantly, it's not like you write in a notebook and you're going to have $10,000 the next day, but I feel better as soon as I write in that notebook every day. Sometimes you wake up with a little stress, a little anxiety, you're worried about whatever you're worried about, you're just in a shitty mood, whatever it is. After I write in that notebook, man, I feel so good, fired up. You're really laying out all your goals for yourself, like it gives you motivation without a doubt. So, I really challenge you guys to try it, even if I'm doing a shitty job of explaining this right now, go watch The Secret documentary on Netflix, pay attention, absorb it, and just try these things I'm saying. When you're in a shitty situation and it just seems like life is fucking you, try to identify a positive that you can take from that. And when like you're in a rut and you're trying to make some shit happen, just start trying to write a gratitude list every day. Do it every day for 30 days and see if something crazy doesn't happen. And if it doesn't, fuck, you tried, but I'm not asking you to buy something. I'm not asking you to really do much other than just make an effort to make your life more positive, help yourself. And I think you'll find not only do you enjoy like your days a lot better when you're walking around thinking positive and motivated, for the things that you want in your life, but people enjoy being around positive people as well. I think we can all identify someone in our life that's always that negative person and, always like seeking drama, loves the gossip, like is just kind of toxic, No one likes really being around those people. People love positive people. People love positive energy. Positive people attract positive people, and it's, it can be applied in your life, in business, and everything you do. And it's something I genuinely am very passionate about and believe in. And I hope I could offer any sort of value to someone watching this today. And if you can apply this to your life and make some sort of difference, that's really all I hope for, And at the same time, if you think this is a bunch of mumbo jumbo and you don't apply any of it to your life, that's fine. If you've got a great life going and what you've got is working for you, more power to you. But for anyone that's, finding themselves in a rut, finding themselves struggling, or just wants more from the situation they're in and doesn't really know how to get to that point, I really suggest looking into the law of attraction, watch The Secret, apply some of these principles to your life, and I'd be shocked if you didn't see some change. So yeah, that's really all I've got. I've got a bunch of stories written on the board right here that I wanted to share with you and examples in my life of times the law of attraction has done monumental things for me, but I don't want this to go on too long. Nick, how long am I at right now?
15.
Fuck it. I'm going to give you 5 more minutes. Tell you some stories. So, law of attraction. In Tallahassee, which you guys are already sort of familiar with this aspect of my life because I've told this story a little bit. I'm in Tallahassee. I'm selling drugs. That's really all I've got going for myself. I'm in school, but I'm doing shitty. Mainly selling drugs. That's it. And, like I've said before, I knew there was no end game there. I knew there was no way out other than getting caught, really, because there was nothing inside me that was going to want to walk away from, that income. And so that being said, subconsciously, I realized in hindsight, I was manifesting getting caught because I was having that conversation almost on a daily basis with myself of, like, what's the end game here? What's next? I felt it coming. I knew it was coming. And I think I brought it on, having those thoughts in my own head. And knowing that nothing was going to get me out of this other than getting caught, but also I need to get out of this, So what was I asking for? In my mind, I was asking to get caught without realizing it. And as soon as I was in the jail cell that day, I was like, oh shit, I manifested this, And I was big on the law of attraction, even at this time in my life. I was waking up every morning, putting The Secret on on the TV and just playing it in the background, you know, while I was like smoking, doing whatever I was doing. I had The Secret playing in the background just because I figured that was keeping me in like a good headspace hearing that, rather than bumping Gucci or whatever else, you know, I would normally listen to at that time. So I was, at the time that I got roped and I was, you know, arguably at the lowest place in my life, or the lowest point in my life, I was also very active with the law of attraction. But that is also something I think I manifested for a reason. You know, that was like I said in the other podcast, that was a life-changing moment for me when I got in trouble. And that's what triggered me to flip a switch and get on the grind and get my shit together and do everything legit, you know? So I'm grateful for that moment more than anything. And I, without a doubt, brought it on myself. You know, yeah, some kid snitched on me and that's what got me caught. But I don't blame him, you know? I'm not salty towards him. I brought that on myself, 100%. So that being said, I manifested getting caught and going to jail. And like I said, I was big on the law of attraction at that time. So as soon as I got to jail, and even when I knew I was going to be doing some time, because it was like a 6-month process that I was on trial or going through the court system, figuring out how much time I was going to have to do, I knew, dude, I'm going to go in there and fucking manifest my ass off. I'm going to have nothing to do for however much time I'm in there for. I'm just going to write every day and manifest my fucking ass off. And that's what I did. I went in and, I mean, I was broke at the time. You know, I had spent all my money on a lawyer and, you know, moving my life from Tallahassee back to West Palm Beach. I had no money. Whatever, like I had like a couple $100 and I told my dad to put it on my books when I got into jail so that I could buy food and shit in jail. One of the first things I bought was a notebook and a pen. And every day I was writing in that notebook gratitude list every single day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day because I didn't have shit else to do. And on that list, I can remember was I'm so happy and grateful for my brand new apartment, overlooking the water, walking distance to work, stainless steel appliances, hardwood floor. So happy and grateful for my brand new motorcycle, my brand new Mercedes Benz. I wrote the exact car that I wanted. And that's another thing I want to say. When it comes to a gratitude list, the more specific you can get, the easier you're making it on yourself. Get super specific. Don't say, I'm so happy and grateful I'm making more money. How much money do you want to make? You know, because it's really hard for you to put together that plan and the universe to put things into place without knowing what that end result is supposed to be, you know? So get as specific as you can with the gratitude list. And so I was writing about the exact car I wanted. White on white, Mercedes CLA 250, panoramic roof, black rims, black mirrors. I was writing this in that notebook every day and had no money in my bank when I got home. But, you know, I do 30 days in jail in Tallahassee. I get out, I come back home, I get my job back at Bradley's, and I'm just in grind mode, you know? I worked, you know, my ass off that whole month that I got home, and I went from $0 to I had $5,000 cash saved up to go get a car by the end of that first month of being home. Went to the Mercedes dealership. Walking through the lot, I was in like gym shorts and a t-shirt. I pulled up on my motorcycle. I'm walking around the car lot of the Mercedes dealership. None of the salesmen are even coming up to me to like see what I want, you know, because I'm just some jit in basketball shorts and a t-shirt. And finally I walk inside and one of the guys is like, hey, did you need something, bro? And I'm like, yeah, I want that white car that's out there. And I point at the exact car that I had been writing in my notebook for a month, you know, every single day. And, you know, the guy was like shocked when I said that. I don't think he thought I was there to buy anything. And, you know, we go inside, we do the paperwork. I had a number in my head of like what I was willing to pay for that car, like a monthly payment. And I just kind of spelled it all out to him. I was like, look, this is how much money I have to put down. If you can make this payment happen, I'll walk out with the car. He goes in the office with his manager, comes back out. He beat the payment that I asked for, and I got the car that day. So, I mean, that's a pretty summed up version of that story. But in a nutshell, I went from, you know, going to jail with no money in my pocket and coming home to no money. And then 30 days from getting released, buying the exact car that I was trying to manifest actively every single day. And, I mean, I can give you a handful of stories that are exactly like that, where I know without a doubt that the things that I'm doing on a daily basis are getting me the things that I want. And I don't know, those stories will come another time, I guess. We'll call the freestyle at that. But again, I hope I was able to add some value to someone, give someone some insight, and if anything, just tell an entertaining story. But yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in. look forward to dropping another episode on Monday. I think we've got Heath Walker dropping this Monday. Or it might be a Bulls only episode. We haven't decided yet. But regardless, we love all the love we're getting from you guys. Thank you so much for the feedback. We want to hear what we're doing right. We want to hear what we're doing wrong. We want to know what you guys want to see. So keep tuning in and keep hollering at us. Thank you so much.